Hello and welcome to the arena on KAFTAN TV. My name is Pius Awunah. I'm going to be your host. Today on the arena, I have a guest with me who is a lawyer. We'll be looking at a very disturbing issue. And what is this issue? You will get to know because we are going on a break. After the break, you will get to meet my lawyer and the issue we are going to discuss. Stay close to your TV set so that you can't miss this edition of the program. Thank you. Welcome back from the break. It is very disturbing, and I believe it is not right that the available jobs have to be sold to unemployed youth. This is becoming common in our society. People go to school to acquire education, to acquire knowledge, and so that they can be useful in the society, so that they can be productive after the school. But whenever there are job opportunities in government sectors, they have to pay for these jobs before they can get. And in many cases, even after paying for these jobs, yet they can't have them. We are going to look at this issue, the sale of government jobs to unemployed youth. We can't continue living like this in this country. We have to discuss this. And in the course of this program, I'm going to expose some people so that you get to know and what is the essence for doing this, so that other people cannot be victims, so that the concerned authorities can address this issue. If we can't address this issue now, it will soon become, in fact, something that everyone would like to do, and it's not good for our society. With me to discuss this today, I have a lawyer with me in the studio talking about Justina, Segun. But I would still want you to introduce yourself and tell me the law firm you are representing here on the program.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. My name is Justina Segun, Miss. I work with Lawbright, solicitor.
Thank you very much. Welcome for on the program.
Thank you very much.
It's very disturbing.
Yes,
that,
it is.
Parents send their children to go to school. And some of these parents, you know, the condition of things in the country. They sell their land and other properties to ensure they see their children through in school. And after all this, they still have to look for money to pay for jobs. It's very disturbing, and I believe there are cases, we have seen many cases, and I personally handle some cases regarding this job scam. Yes, I can call it job scam too, because some people are lucky they paid and they have these jobs. Some paid, still they don't have these jobs. And I want us to look at this issue today so that we can enlighten the public and see if possibly we still expose some people here so that the public will be aware that these people, this is what they are into. And they have done this to some people so that everybody will be at alert in order to prevent others from being their victims. What is your take on this issue?
All right, thank you very much. Just like the way you said, the issue of sale of unemployment jobs to our youth in the society is trending, is more trending now. It is not a new thing. It is something that has been happening, and it is still happening. And just like the way you said it, if nothing is done about it, it will continue to happen. And the perpetrators of this act, they carry out this act without fear. They do it confidently and in open places. Well, some of these people who sell this job are also government officials. They work in some of these agencies. They work in the ministries. They work in the parastatals. They also are big people maybe in the government sector who are supposed to protect the interests of the government, who are there to do what is expected of them, but they go ahead also to perpetrate this act of selling jobs to unemployed youth. Well, is a tradition now that you can hardly get a job in the society that we are today if you don't pay for the job. They call it either you lobby for the job or there's what we call those job racketeers. They are out there, they bring out their self. Okay, see, I can give you this job, but you have to pay for this job. And that is not how it is supposed to be, because as qualified graduates, either from the university or secondary school that you're out, whether you're a secondary school graduate or the university graduate, you have a right to seek for employment, of which you are entitled to if you're qualified for such a job. But what is happening today in our societies, if you don't even know anybody, sometimes you even get to be qualified, but just because you don't have a godfather or you don't have the money to pay for this job, you can't get employed. And that is one of the things that is even affecting the sector today. You get to some of these ministries, some of these agencies, you get to see unqualified people. Sorry to use that word. The truth is, some of them don't even deserve the job. Those that deserve those jobs are not given the job just because they don't have the money
to pay
for the same job. And why some we pay for the job and are not given the job? Because maybe more than 1, 2, 3, 4 people have applied for that same position. And the truth is, the perpetrators of this act, we go about collecting thousands and millions from the same individuals just for one particular opening, of which they already know the person that they will give the job to. Sometimes they give some job adverts out there. You will see the advert, but they already know who they are going to employ.
Yes.
It's just like some of these, I wouldn't want to call names, but the truth is that is what is happening. In some of the government offices that we call it as the lucrative agency or government offices, you can't just get a job in either NNPC, CBN, FIRS. It's very difficult if you don't know someone there.
Somebody has to lobby for you.
Somebody out there to lobby for you.
We are going to talk more about this, but I want you to come in here. I know that those who pay for these jobs, they are not doing the right thing.
Of course.
And it's very disturbing that if you can be able to raise up to 300,000 naira and above, some even pay millions.
Yes, millions of naira.
To earn a job.
Yes.
Why can't you invest that money in a business that, with time your business can grow and you expand to become big? I think that you can do well. Must you work with the government? Some people believe that if they after school if they can't get job to work with the government or all these big companies, they can't be able to actualize their dreams. So, and you see there are more, some of them, I'm not trying to take side with anyone here. Some of these guys, they equally approach, they are the ones that will even approach you that please, they need job and they are ready to pay.
That's
This
true.
is desperation. And I want us to look at it in that angle too, where this unemployed youth, we understand that things are very hard in the country and it's not easy to get job, yes. But I'm not encouraging anyone to pay for any job.
Of course.
And to more surprising, you can be able to raise money up to 500,000, because I know some people that pay up to 600,000 to get government jobs, some 800,000, some even up to 1 million. So if you have that kind of amount with you, is it not better you invest in a business, you invest in something that at least you can be able to on your own stand, instead of you depending on the government jobs or paying to get a government job so that you can earn a living from there? What did you have to say about this?
You're right. What you just said is a two-way thing to me.
Yes.
If you are able to raise such an amount, you should be able to use that amount for something like, just like the way you say, invest into a business. But people, me and you sometimes, we think investing in a business, there's risks in it. You're not too sure if you will succeed in that business. And another thing again is the society has not given us that platform. When we're talking about entrepreneurship, yes, some graduates, we went to school, but it is more of the theory aspect, not the practical. Some courses that are being studied in school. So once these fresh graduates are out of school, the next thing that comes to their mind is, oh, I need a government job. People don't, it's not everybody, it's just few among the youths that think they could make something useful out of themselves even without the government job. They feel, okay, if I use this money, what is the guarantee that I will succeed when I use this money for an investment or to start a business? And the truth is, there are some set of people that don't want to work hard. That's just the truth. They just want to get things at a platter of gold. People don't want to be patient. People don't want to struggle. You just want to have the money now. You're not concerned about, okay, let me put in an effort and see what will come out of it. People are not ready to do that. Most people, not all though. There are people that have invested, that have started their little business and they succeed in it. But there are also some set of people that have invested maybe in one business or the other and didn't succeed in it. When you're telling them to try again, they were like, no, I've tried it before and I didn't succeed in it. Why not? Let me pay for this job and see what will come out of it. So the society again, the platform to help youths in getting jobs once they finish school. It mustn't be government jobs.
Yes.
You understand? They should have some sectors. Okay, once you finish studying this course, you can start this program, even as an intern, or you can start as a freelancer. You get the opportunity
to learn on the job.
To learn on the job, to build up yourself, so that you can even sell out yourself to the society. You don't have to wait for the government job. You see, most youths today, they will tell you, I've graduated for the past 10 years and I don't have anything to do. I'm not blaming them, but somehow we should all rise up and see the potentials we have in us. Since you're a graduate, you have to think of what other thing can you do with yourself apart from what you studied in school. Even what you study in school, think of a sector or an area that you can make good use of yourself. Okay, let me try this and see what will come out of it. Instead of taking the risks of paying for something that you are not even sure of.
You are saying the truth, and I want to come in here. It's very unfortunate. If you go around Abuja, you see things that will get you angry. I must admit that we have hardworking youth.
Yes, of course.
Yes. Well, I know some want to get it quick, and then they have to employ other means that are not legal for them to actually get what they want. But we still have youth in this country that are in fact, majority of our youth, they are hardworking.
That's true.
Because I know of many graduates. Go around Abuja, you see there are some of these graduates, some of them are security guards.
Very well.
Some of them are hawking.
Of course.
Some of them have, they construct something, we locally call it bacha. They like shops. In some strategic places, they sell provisions there and other things.
That's true.
Then you see tax force go around to seize their goods, to, I don't know. And then when you complain, the tax force will tell you there are shops, they should go and rent shops to be doing business. They are not to be selling in the places they set up to be selling their businesses. But it is still worrisome because these shops are very expensive. They cannot afford to pay for these shops. And then after the school, they on their own managing to do these things so that they can earn their living. They are not really waiting for the government to give them a job. They are keeping themselves busy with this. You even see these women that they sell food in different locations here in Abuja. The same women, tax force go after them to collect their food. What exactly do you want these people to do if, as a government, you cannot provide jobs for them? And then the little they are managing to do to feed their family or to feed themselves, you still collect it from them, that you go and rent the shop. And the renting of the shop is millions. Are you not frustrating them? Are you not the one contributing to their problems? And some of them, and when it comes to ladies, it's very unfortunate. Some ladies who have attempted to do their own business, like selling all this food and other things in Abuja, that they have been chased away by tax force. You see some of them, because they have tried different things, it couldn't work for them. So they have to go back to prostitution. Or they look at prostitution as the only option for them to engage in and survive. So it's very disturbing too, because the government may be doing its best to make sure that things are better. But we can still see that we have a long way to go. And the government, in fact, the government is lacking in many areas. If you cannot provide jobs for the unemployed youth, and if anything they are doing is legal, allow them. Stop going after them, stop disturbing them. In some countries, we know that the government even supports businesses. But here, when it even comes to supporting businesses, you see that there are some selected people. And in many cases, you see the people that actually deserve to be given this money or to be given their assistance, they will not get that from the government.
But sometimes they even pay for them to get such money.
In fact, somebody called me that during the lockdown, the government was giving money and then to lessen the burden of the lockdown. And his in-law called him that he can assist him if he can pay 10,000 naira. You can imagine. This guy is a student. He paid the 10,000 naira, he couldn't get the loan, and then he came back begging that I should help him to recover his money from this man. Okay, you see. So even the assistance that the government has to give, somebody has to pay to get the assistance. Yes. And not only him, there are other people with similar cases.
Thousands out there. Thousands out there.
So it's very disturbing that we are seeing things like this. I want you to, share your experience or what you have observed in this regard.
Yes. The truth is, I won't advise anybody to pay for a job, because that you're also paying for that same job, you're committing an offense. And you also that is receiving, you're also committing an offense. So we all as youth must rise up to confront this issue, because the truth is, we shouldn't aid the act. We should have it at the back of our mind that when everybody says, okay, we're not going to pay for this, definitely, if we can all agree on that and we rise up to that, qualified parents will be the people that will be put in such positions, that will be given appointments. The truth is, sometimes you go to some of these ministries. I feel so disappointed sometimes when you go there. Some of them are even confused on what to do, some of the staffs.
Yes.
You go there, you say, okay, please, I want to do this. And you see, they get angry easily over their own job.
That they're supposed to do, yes.
That they are supposed to do. Because why? They feel maybe you're coming there to tell them what to do. Sometimes when you see some of these lapses, the truth is, such persons were not really qualified for such job. Some of them bought the job.
Yes.
The qualified ones are the ones roaming the streets. They are the ones out there trying to see how to survive, struggling to survive. I remember there was a time I saw something on the news, the social media stuff. I remember them, the Nigerian immigration, where there were application for job, vacancy of just 4,000, but they made people to pay almost 1,000 naira. I don't know how that source is true, so I heard then.
And vacancy they needed like
the application,
like 4,000 people.
Yes, and the application, normally you're not even supposed to pay.
Yes.
Any application, as you're not supposed to pay for any government application, because government provides for money for such recruitment, for such trainings. That's just the truth. So why make people to pay? And at the end of the day, they already know the numbers of people they want to employ. They already know the numbers, and you will see people will pay for it. Where does such money go to? It goes to some of the individual in that same government offices. It goes to them. So I believe the excess of this is to enlighten each and every one of us that we shouldn't go about giving money for jobs. And the truth is, what is the guarantee that if you pay for this job, you will get the job? And if you know you're qualified, why pay for the job? Why pay for such jobs? You hear a lot of scenario where people pay for jobs. Sometimes you don't even pay. The truth is, I know of someone that once told me her experience after an interview. She was told, wow, you did very well. I don't want to call the name of the. They told her that you did very well, and she was so happy. They later sent them messages that if you're working with any of the government agency, you need to tender your resignation just because of the IPPIS stuff, that because you cannot be captured twice. So some people went ahead to even resign from the present jobs they have. That's for those that have a job at that time. And at the end of it, the employment till today, since 2018, they've not been called. It shows it's fake employment. Sometimes some people get to say employment letters, but such letters are even fake, with government stamp, with government logos. So we have to be careful.
We are coming to that. I'm going to bring in something, but not now. I want people to keep listening. I'm going to expose one or two things here about this job scam, people paying for job, so that you get to know that this thing is real. We are not just here talking stories that are not there. We'll show you the evidence, and we'll mention names so that you get to know that this thing is true. It's very annoying. We can't continue living like this. So we need to do what we should do, and then we leave the rest to the authorities there to handle. It's very, very disturbing. You can't so far as you spend many years to acquire education from the primary, secondary school to university level, and then after that you still have to pay for job before you can be able to get one. And in some cases, even when you pay, you can't get. This is not right. This is not healthy for our society. And that is why you see, when you go to many, as you mentioned earlier in your discussion, you go to some ministries, you see that people there, many of them, some of them that they can even do their job well, they are not really interested in doing what they should do. They are interested in seeing how they can make money to recover what they paid for the job.
That's true.
Yes. So you see them doing things that are completely opposite of what they should be doing in the office. Because they paid, it wasn't for free. The job was given for them, wasn't for free. So the first thing in their mind, how am I going to recover my money with interest? So now it's strictly business. People are not looking at this as giving job. I need to work, if at all. And that's why in many cases you see that we have rotten system. Yes,
that's true.
You have system that is not working. You go to some offices, you see people are there, but what they should do, they are not doing anything. You see a lot of people that they will tell you their government, they are working with the government, they are public servant, all this and that. And when you come to some certain things that they should do. But another thing I think, after, even if you pay for the job, let's say you pay for the job, you have been given the job, is it not right, or is this supposed to, it's not right that these people should be given training before you even start? Because I remember when we were in school, we after the school, during the school, we went out for assignment in some of these government offices, and they were before they even post you or to a particular department that they want you to work, the department will give you the kind of orientation of what you should do in this office or what they expect from you. I don't know whether this kind of system is still ongoing. Because you walk into some offices, you see that, in fact, sometimes, as you mentioned earlier, you are the one that you have to even explain to them what they should do.
That's true.
Yes. They are confused, they don't know what to do. And And then I'm looking at it that you see this thing is making a lot of offices are not really functioning well.
That's true.
They are not functioning well because first of all, you put people that are there, they pay for this, and they are not really doing the job. They are just after money. They are just after money. They want to earn the money so that they can recover what they paid for the job, and so that at the same time they can also make their own gain. And these same people, if they're in the opportunity to also recruit or be in charge of recruitment in these offices, they will definitely collect money from people too.
Yeah,
and then you see this continues.
Yes, I think.
And those that we also pay when they come in, yes, I've also paid for this, it will also give me for free. And then this now becomes a system,
yes,
an ongoing thing that anybody that has to, get a job with the government must pay. Now, what can we do to really address this issue and to make sure other people, we prevent people from being victims, and those who are doing this thing should be disciplined?
Okay, before I answer that, you raised the point about training.
Yes.
That are these people not being trained? The truth is, in an office, maybe once an employment is being given, I just feel there are two categories of people in that office. One, those ones that got the job, the few ones that got the job legit without paying. Then there are the ones that got the job through their money.
Yes.
The truth is, sometimes those people that undergo the training are those who get the job in a legit way. You will see sometimes, just like the way you said, once they paid for this job, they will tell them that, okay, see, bring this money, you don't even need to undergo the training. Maybe if there is a 3-month stipulated training, like 3 months, maybe, okay, if you get employed into this office, you undergo 3-month training. The truth is, those people giving them that job at that time will tell them, don't worry, just pay the money. You don't need to go for the training. Once it is time for you to resume the office, you start your work. So they don't undergo that training. Why? Because in the first place, they got the job in an illegal way. So they know that they didn't put any effort, any struggle. So what they will be after is how to recover their money once they get into the system, just like the way you said. So it will be something that will continue to happen. And how do we curb that? We need to help the government. We are part of the government too. We shouldn't be saying government, government, government. We are also part of the government. The people make up part of the government also. Those people in those offices, those people that are, they all know themselves. They know themselves. The perpetrators of this they know themselves. Sorry to say, maybe some directors are even involved in this.
Yes.
So they should help the government. They should help the society.
But
they should help the society by stopping such acts.
Do you know the reason why when things happen like this, everybody is blaming government?
Okay.
Because these people did not put themselves there.
Okay.
There is somebody they are working for too, they are working under.
That's true.
If things like this are exposed, relieve them of their job.
Of course.
We're
coming to that. You're right.
When somebody is punished for something, the next person that has intention of being sent will retrieve his step.
That's true.
But when people commit and they are not punished, what are you preaching?
Okay.
You're encouraging other people to do the same thing.
The truth is, some of those people who assist these perpetrators, that's the individuals who pay for this job. Sometimes they don't voice out. They don't come out to say, okay, see, I was scammed, or I paid for a job and I wasn't given the job. You know why some of them don't come out? Because they are scared. Because deep within them, they know that it is wrong for them to pay for the job in the first place. So some of them are scared, and some of them are scared of the fact that, okay, sometimes I think some of those people who carry out this act will make them to write some undertaking that you are not coming back for any refund. So they feel, okay, they've written this down, they can't take a step or an action against such a person. But the truth is, they have every right to take actions against such a person. They have the appropriate authority to go to. I know, yes, sometimes we'll say, oh, is it not Nigerian police force? But sometimes let's try and go there. I feel even if thousands there might not be living up to expectation, there might be 1-2 people in such government, in such office, even in the Nigerian police force, that are against this thing that me and you are talking about today, that are against sale of government jobs. We definitely have them. It is not all of them that will be in support of this act. And I know sometimes we might even tell ourselves, okay, what if someone that is in the force is the one involved in this? But thank God, they've really tried. I think they have the response units there that even if a police officer is the one that commits an offense or carry out an act that he's not okay with, that you're not okay with, that you feel, you can report such an officer. And I believe that even in that department, we can still have one person that will be outstanding.
We are coming to that. There is an issue here involving some officers. And we'll get to look at that later. Okay. I don't want us to discuss that now. It is time for us to go for a break. Then after the break, the discussion continues. This is the arena on KAFTAN TV, Abuja. It's time for us to go for the break. We believe you are following the discussion and you are learning from it. So we'll go for the break now, and after the break, we are going to continue from where we stopped now. Thank you. Welcome back from the break. We are still discussing the sale of government jobs to unemployed youth. And my guest has been a lawyer, Justina, John Segun, from the Lawbright firm. And we have been able to look at many issues regarding this topic. And we believe you are taking 1 or 2 things and you are learning from, in fact, have already learned from the discussion we had. So this is the second part of this discussion. Now I want us to look at this case here. I personally follow up on this issue. Because of the unemployment problem in the country and the issue of insecurity, the federal government created, I think, spy police. And these spy police, they are civilians, they are not uniformed police officers, to help, recruit more unemployed youth into the spy police jobs, to have these jobs. And to also, the issue of, they will also assist in the, tackle the issue of insecurity. I know many people who have these jobs, they knew they are doing, and they are really getting paid, and they are sustaining their lives with that. And then, but it's very unfortunate that we have some people who have been given the same jobs, and they have been working for years. If I say years, I mean 2, 3, 4 years, and they are still not paid. They have not been getting paid. What is really the cause of this? Somebody came to me, reported how he paid 200,000 naira for an employment as a spy police officer. And who did he pay this money to? A police officer. What is her name? Inspector Saratu Idris. And this woman, when I called to hear her own side of the story regarding the allegation against her, she was not nice. And I have to take up this issue. I went to, just as you mentioned earlier, that there's a unit in Nigeria Police Force where you report police officers. If you see the activities of any officer is not right, you have the right to report them. There are numbers too. I think one of these days on the program, I will give out numbers that you can reach police, this response unit, whenever you see an officer doing what is opposite the right thing. Then you can report them. Then you can go to the force headquarters too and report any officer you see that is not doing the right thing. Provided you have evidence, you must have evidence. So I went to the force headquarters to report this woman because she offered fake appointment letter to somebody who was interested in to work as a spy police officer. And she even issued the ID card to the person.
Can imagine.
The ID card was given to this guy. And this is not just one of the victims. I mean, this is just one of the victims. There are many other people that are victims of this. To my surprise, she was called to the office of a 2IC response unit of the Nigeria Police Force, Mr. Abbott. He is the 2IC of that unit. In my presence, this woman was very confident to tell me that, yes, so what can I do about this? That do I know how much he paid to get the job? This is an officer, a police officer, asking me, do I know how much she paid to get the police job? You can now recall the discussion we had earlier.
Yeah, that's true.
Where I say some people, they paid for the job, and when they are there, they are also doing what they know they can do to recover their money and make gain.
It's now become a business.
These people are not really doing the job. This was what this woman asked me. She asked me that, do I know how much she paid to get the police job? That what am I trying to do? In the presence of the 2IC and other senior police officers that were there, I continue on this issue from the 200,000 naira. Before I even come to the 200,000, during the investigation on this issue, then this woman came out, the woman herself, she came out with this list. I was surprised that she was boasting, telling me that, and there are other people that pay for these jobs too. You can see the list here, all the names you are seeing here, people pay for this. All these people, they pay for this job, 200,000 naira each. And this is just the candidate of this woman. They are of this police officer, Saratu Idris. There are other police officers who that they have their own candidate that pay for this. Some even pay 400,000 for this job to be recruited as a spy police officer. Some pay 300,000, depends on who you are paying to and how much you want you to pay. Then you will now see that police, that is a first place for you to go when somebody scams you about something like this, and the same police officers are the ones scamming people doing this. What would you advise people to do in this case? You have police that you have to run to whenever somebody has done something like this to you, and then you have the same officers, they are the one doing it to people. What should people do in this case?
Okay, just like the way I said earlier on, that no matter what, I believe in that same unit, there must be one person that want to stand against such acts. And apart from that, you can get a lawyer that will help you petition such a police officer, that will help you petition the police. And once that petition is being written, they wouldn't want that. They wouldn't want that. Because the truth is, from there you can go to court. It's a criminal offense.
Yes, you are saying the right thing, but do you know that getting a lawyer is not also for free? Yes. Because if you raise money to pay for a job and you come to a lawyer to approach him, that means you should be able to raise money and pay the lawyer too. So all these things involve spending. And some people, it's because of, sometimes not that people don't know what to do, but they are also afraid of they will end up spending more on this, and maybe at the time they don't even have money. So if not, yes, to approach a lawyer. But how many lawyers, you are a lawyer, can you be able to offer this kind of service to somebody who is a victim?
Apart from me, we have some lawyers that do pro bono cases on this.
Yes.
We have some lawyers that wouldn't want to take this from anyone. We have some lawyers that stand against such this act. There are thousands of them out there that want to fight against such. That is just the truth. Even though, just like the way you said, some lawyers will say if you can pay such an amount for the job, why can't you pay? You're right, that's just the truth. To some extent, if you can pay for the job, why can't you pay for the lawyer? But at the same time, just like the way I said it, there are lawyers that can do this on pro bono. They wouldn't mind. So sometimes we should take the first step. We shouldn't just sit back and said, I know nothing will be done about it. Sometimes it's that act that make all these things to continue. It is time for us not to sit down. We shouldn't always sit back and watch the wrong things happening in the society. Just like the way I said initially, we make up part of the society. If the society is good today, it will favor all of us. And if it is bad, it will still not favor each and every one of us. So it is high time for we not to condone such acts. Okay, yes, you could say, oh, I know I committed a crime by paying for a job. But for this very act, so that other people will be aware, so that other people will be enlightened, I need to do something about it. I need to stand up, just like this guy that approached you now. He knows even the act of paying was wrong. But he approached you today, and this has given other people the opportunity to hear this on this program. So it will help others not to fall victim of such acts. If he sits back and say, oh, since I've done something that is wrong, let me just keep to it. You wouldn't have known.
Yes.
I wouldn't have known. We wouldn't have sit down today to be discussing about it. And the truth is, some people are not just enlightened about some of these things. That's just the truth. And some people just always have it in their mind that, okay, if I don't pay for this, how will I survive, or how will I get a job in the society we are today? Because most people have it in mind that everybody pays for a job. Nothing comes on a platter of gold in the society we are today. It's not just the government sector, that's just the truth. Even some private sectors, you see some of these things happening. But the truth is, the government sector is something that is so disturbing.
Yes.
Because these offices are put in place for each and every one of us to help the unemployed youth.
Do you know, look, this issue just has to be addressed now to prevent more from happening.
Yes.
If you go to many offices today in the government establishment, vacancies are being advertised just for formality.
Of course.
Already there are selected people that they have the jobs already. But they
of
just
course.
do it so that it shouldn't look as if we are not doing what we're supposed to do. No, we can't continue like this. And in some cases too, even those that, as you mentioned earlier when we started the discussion on this issue, even those who they finally even select, it's not for free, they pay. They pay for it. When are we going to please do things right in this country so that we ensure due process the right way and everything that is right is being followed before things are done? Because looking at this, you know how the condition of the country is, and you know majority of people in this country, they are poor. Majority of the population we have, they are very poor. People who manage even go to school, if you know the story, how behind their success in going to primary, secondary school to university, you'll be shocked. And then at the end of the day, these people have to go through pain again to raise money that they will pay for jobs. And if this is not going to be addressed now, to punish those who are doing this, to prevent other people from being victims, or to make sure that this system or selling job should not exist at all. I'm telling you, very soon in the society, in fact, it will, you know, one funny thing about Nigeria is that if the wrong things are happening, but, you know, over time, people now look at that as the right thing.
normal thing, yeah, you're right.
Because, yes, even you can see that, look at what this woman, the inspector told me, in the presence of the boss, her boss that was investigating this issue. Mr. Abbott, who is the twice of this department, is a high-ranking police officer. And she asked me in the presence of this Abbott, that do I know how much he paid to get this police job?
You can imagine.
That means other people too paid the same way she paid. Too. And then as they are there now, they are looking for opportunity to
recover their money.
I know people will be interested in knowing the outcome about this issue. And you know, this is just one of the victims. There are other people that are called because there was a publication about this.
Okay.
In the national newspaper. After that publication, a lot of people called. That yes, I have also paid for this. Some say 300,000.
Just because one person stood up.
Yes.
That was why.
So I wanted to enlighten people about this and to also the kind of preventing others from being victims. So I did a story and I pushed it up for publication. It was published, and a lot of people called. That yes, I have paid to some people that are coming from Adamawa State. Some people call from Benue State. Some people call from Lagos State, from different parts of the country.
I can imagine.
Complaining about the same thing. So you can even see that this is something that is being done nationwide.
Nationwide. And from your list I'm seeing here, I could see that more than 500 victims.
And this is just the list for one person. One person. Because Sarah to Idris, she's the one that has this list. And all the candidates on this list, they paid money to her. She also claimed that she's working for somebody. Yes, and the way she talks, she will make you scared. Because she believes that the people that she's working for them on this, they got her back. So nothing is going to happen to her.
But the truth is, nobody is above the law.
Yes, but when people are committing and they are not getting the needed punishment.
The truth is,
that is why you see these things keep happening.
Let's keep on pushing.
Yes, I know people will be interested in knowing the outcome of the issue. Do you know this case was assigned to one, I think it's an inspector too, Danjuma. One Danjuma. Still at the force headquarters within the same unit, unit of the Nigeria Police Force. That you should look into this. Do you know the same the IPO of this same case also went and brought in someone else to pay for the same job that was already in dispute. This person paid for the job in order to recover the money and pay to the first victim that came and reported this issue to me. After paying for this, he said, okay, give this victim his 200,000 naira that I pay for the job. The victim was giving only 150,000 naira, and they made him sign that he's not coming back to ask for the balance. So you look at this.
Thank God, just like the way you said, efforts were made, and you were able to recover that 150,000.
And then in the same case, the same job that who complained it was fake, and this victim his money should be refunded. You went as a police officer that you are the IPO in charge of the case. You still went and brought in another person to buy the same job.
That is fake, and you already know that it is a fake job.
So you see, so how are we going to survive with this? How are we going to survive as a nation when we have this kind of rotten system in place?
It's a pity. That's just the truth. It is.
And the people you see here, many of them here, they don't even that pay for this job, they don't get it.
Yes.
They have not been given the job. Many of them that pay for this, they have not been given the job.
And
then who is the inspector? I was thinking that the department, the response unit of the Nigeria Police Force, they will also investigate this issue further to know who are involved. Who is this Inspector Sarah to Idris? Who is she working for? And the other people that are doing the same thing, so that they can be punished.
Yeah.
If not, this is now something that we will experience every time there is a recruitment.
Yes.
Every time there is going to be recruitment, we are going to, this is what people should expect. You should just go and forget about the merit. Forget about the due process. Just go and look for money.
Money.
So that once it is time, you should be able to pay whatever they ask you to pay, so that you can get the job. And then as you are in the system too, you should not concentrate on what you're supposed to do. You should concentrate on what
how to recover your money.
So you see, how are we going to progress as a nation? How are we going to survive as a nation with this kind of practice? The police that are supposed to rescue us, or the police that are supposed to ensure that things are done right, law enforcement officers, and then you take the issue to them, and then they are also, in fact, they are the same people doing same thing other people are supposed to do, and then you report to them for them to get these people disciplined, to get these people do the right thing. They are the one now perpetrating this.
Just like the way I said, you petition such a police officer, petition the police. The truth is, get a lawyer. I know you might feel lawyers are expensive, but just like the way I said, there are some that cannot even stand this happening in the society. There are lawyers that are ready to fight this, to see to it that such act does not continue. Because the society belongs to all of us.
Yes.
If it is good today, just like the way I said initially, it is for all of us. So we all must stand up to confront this issue. We all must stand up to confront it. Because if we don't, the earlier the better. If we don't, just like the way you said, it will continue. It will become a norm. It will become something that everybody sees it as a normal thing. That, okay, since I want this job, let me just get my money to pay for this job. And the truth is, some of the younger ones that are still in school, or some that are still in school, they are seeing what is happening.
Yes.
So some of them will not even want to study hard again, because some of them,
just to pay money.
Some of them will have it at the back of their mind that,
yes,
I don't have to even make the first class or the 2-1. Once you are out there, once there is money, or my parents have money, or my uncle has money, I could get the job I want to get. So people no longer want to even struggle even in the academic sector again because of what is happening. So we all must rise up to see to it that we have a better Nigeria. The country does not belong to one person.
Yes.
The country does not just belong to the Nigerian police force. It belongs to each and every one of us. And each and every one of us must make effort in our own individual ways to see to it, just like the way you're helping this guy to fight for this. An effort has been made to recover some of this money. If everybody can take up this responsibility, just like the way you did it freely. You understand? If you could do it freely, I believe there are others who could also do the same. We should have, even though we might not have so many people like that in the society that want to do things for free, but I still believe there are people in the society that they are out to see to it that things get better, because nobody is happy with the current situation in Nigeria, with the issue of unemployment. The truth is, sometimes why some people pay for this job is because of age factor. You get to see that if you say you want to get employed into a certain sector, they would say you shouldn't be more than 25 years. As we're speaking right now, schools are on strike.
Yes.
And we don't know when the strike is ending, right? Okay, if the strike should exceed in next year, people have added a year to their age already.
It's true.
You might start university even at the age of 16, but there's no guarantee that you're graduating
in 4 years' time.
In 4 years' time.
Yes.
Or in 5 years' time, if you're studying a course that is 5 years, there is no guarantee, because strike will come in. One issue of maybe insecurity or the other will come in that will hinder you to graduate at that tender age. Sometimes you might even graduate, but maybe before you will be posted for NYC. You see, sometimes they will say, okay, your jam stuff is having an issue. We all went to school.
Yes.
They will say, okay, the jam number, there was an error, stuff like that. You see people staying back for 2 years extra. And you don't expect them to get younger, right? They are getting older.
Yes.
And by the time you finish service, they will be talking about, okay, you want to apply for a job, you'll be seeing you must have 5 years experience. You're just graduating. How can you have experience of that year?
If the job is not given to you in the first place for you to have the experience.
To have the experience.
Are you going to manufacture the experience to present to them?
So sometimes these people are not even ready to train graduates. Some of these sectors are not ready. They want people who are experienced. They are not ready. So you see some of these employed youths now, okay, someone is now coming to you, telling you that, okay, if you can bring 300,000, you will get this job. The person will like, oh, I just graduated. This is a great opportunity. The person sees it as a great opportunity. Okay, let me just pay for this. Let me start up something. Because how sure am I that I could get a job? People are now scared. I think some of those age factor stuff should be removed as a criteria of getting a job.
I know before now there were some agitations. People were complaining, they were protest that this age factor should be removed. But you know, one funny thing is that in Nigeria we just complain, and then those who are supposed to listen, they don't listen. Those who are supposed to take the needed action, they don't do anything.
Well, it's a pity.
It's just a pity. And I'm using this opportunity, at least I'll boldly speak about this thing because I have evidence. And I made a photocopy of this. I've given it to different media houses. It's not something that I should be scared of speaking about it. This same issue, it has the post headquarters. They are aware of it. But the fact is that the needed thing was not done. Because when you come up with the issue like this, that an officer is involved in something and the officer is claiming she's working for someone, and she's even challenging in presence of her superior, it shows there is something wrong. And
yes,
this issue is supposed to be properly investigated to know those who are involved, to punish them in such a way that others who have intention of doing the same, they can retrieve their steps. But in the situation where the IPO in charge of the case has to also bring another person to buy the same job, and then refunded only 150,000 naira to the victim
without fear,
and made him sign that he will not come back to ask for the balance. It shows that we have a big problem in this country. And I'm saying it so that those who are the concerned authorities, they will listen to this and they will revisit this, because this is not just a case, so this is just part of it. There are lots. There is another officer that very one collected 400,000 naira from her candidate. 400,000 naira.
And maybe it's not just one person.
What's the name of this woman? Joy Taki. Yes, that is her name. She also works at the force headquarters. She's also a female police inspector. There are many, and it's not only in the police force. There are other names that I have. You know what I do is that when I have evidence, those I have evidence against them, those are the people I will expose. So if you want, you can come to challenge me. Yes, those I have evidence that can prove this is real. What I'm saying is true. Those are the people I'll call their names and challenge. If you want, you can come and challenge me. It is very, very unfortunate, and we cannot continue like this. So I'm calling on the Nigeria Police Force, the IG, to please look into this issue of the officers selling jobs to unemployed youth. Because we cannot continue with this kind of system. This kind of practice is not good. And I don't think an officer involved in something like this should even be allowed to go unpunished. And you see, that's one of the problems we're having in this country.
Because they are meant to protect the interests of the people.
Punish people for what they commit. If somebody punish the person, and I'm telling you, other people will not do same.
Yeah,
but the situation where somebody is, after committing, you allow him to go scot-free. No. You are encouraging other people to do same.
They're covering such acts.
We will continue to have this kind of practice in place. We continue to have this kind of practice in place. And then you see at the end of the day, or like at least now, you say that we have some officers that may not be happy with this.
Of course.
That may be against this.
Definitely.
But if this cannot be addressed now, then in 2 to 3 years to come, or 5 years to come, we will now have officers that all of them, we will not even get a single officer that will be against this. All will be in support of this because of what? Majority of those that will be in the system, then they are the ones that are paid.
Paid. That's true.
Did you understand that?
Yes, very
and
well.
then those that they didn't pay to get the job, by then they must have been out of the system. So those that have, they are the ones that pay to have the job. Then they will be the one everywhere. So in that case, how would you be able to address this? It will be too late.
It will be too late.
So the time to address this is now.
Is now.
It's not later.
Yes. That's why I say we must all stand up.
Yeah, so we'll continue to play our part. There will be a number given on the, you will see the number on the screen as you are watching this program. Please, if you have an issue that is similar with what we are talking about, in any ministry, not only the police force, you can call. If provided you have evidence, call, let's attend to you. Let's have the evidence, and let's see how we can go after this issue, because this is just our own way of
contributing to the society.
This is just our own way of contributing to assist to sanitize the society. It is very unfortunate that we don't have more time to discuss this issue on this program, but we'll come your way again. Barrister Justina John Segun,
yes,
of Lawbright. Thank you very much for coming on this program.
Thank you.
We value your presence here, and we appreciate your contribution. And we thank you very much. We believe next time we call you to discuss something like this, you will also honor our invitation.
Yes, I will. Thank you for the opportunity.
So, thank you very much. So this is where we're going to draw a curtain, and we promise you that next week, same time, same station, we're going to bring you another interesting topic, and we'll look at it. Now, what we are trying to do on this program is not just to discuss issue and let them be, to discuss issue and see how we can, bring solutions. So the number is on the screen. Please call this number if you have an issue like this. Let's look at it. Let's assist you to tackle this, so that we can continue to have this kind of rotten system in place, so that we cannot continue to have people commit things and go unpunished and not to be able to be exposed. At least we expose you here. So if you are not happy, you can do whatever you think you want to do to escape justice. We have done our own part of exposing this, and we'll continue to follow up to see that those involved are punished. But if at the end of the day, the concerned authorities, especially like the police force that we are talking about, some of the officers involved in this kind of a job scam, and if they are not punished for what they have done, at least we have played our part. So it is for you to play your part too, by letting us know that this thing has happened to you, or it has happened to somebody you know, with evidence, so that we can follow up on this. Thank you very much for watching. As I say earlier, we'll come your way again next time. Same station for another interesting edition of The Arena. My name is Pius Awunah. Bye for now.